Okay, we are live now. I hope you can hear me. I'm doing a re-record of this webinar, and the reason is because on GoToWebinar, it absolutely backfired. So I have to. I'm recording this over again for your benefit. Okay. On the GoToWebinar, what happened when I recorded it was the video and audio completely lagged. Okay, so the video and audio completely lagged, and it doesn't make any sense. So I'm doing it now on a Google Hangout. There will be the question and answer session at the end, which I'm actually going to read out the questions that were stated on the last one, as well as maybe some extra ones. Here is the template. Here is what the webinar is all about. Now I'm going to be covering an introduction. I'm not someone who really likes introductions that much, so it's going to be for a maximum of 5 to 10 minutes where I introduce who I am, what I do, the results I brought for other people, etc. The main portion of the webinar, which is my favorite part, is going to be the value, the 60 minutes, which is going to contain all the foundation and theory you need to know, as well as the study of the theory, which is, when we question this theory, and then the practical steps to for me to be earning $4 million a year with 4 months of work out of the year. And that practical step is actually the answer to the questions that is derived from the study of the theory. Then I'm going to be talking about the conclusion, which is the last 15 minutes. And I'm going to be covering how you can earn a piece of the pie and work with me directly, as well as Mr. X, the student who plans on banking $212,000 the next calendar month. Now, I don't have Mr. X on here. I did have him on for the live webinar, and instead what I've chosen to do is I actually have an exclusive interview with him, which I'm going to be putting up below this video so that you can get your hands on this exclusive video where I'm going to have Mr. X and another student on there as well who was a complete newbie. Okay, so this is the webinar agenda, and we are now going to be moving forward. Now, I'm going to be covering the 7-figure blueprint, which is I plan to make $4 million or more a year with 4 months of work out of the year. Now, before we begin, I want you to log out of Facebook, Twitter, social media, switch your mobile phones off or put it on silent, have your notepad and pen ready, and empty your mind of all conceptions, all misconceptions of marketing if you are earning less than $100,000 a month. Now, the introduction, I'm going to introduce myself and who I am. This is me. My name is Rahman Nur. I'm the owner of Titan Mastermind. I'm 21 years old, so I'm not really, I'm not too old. I travel the world. At the moment, I'm in Phuket, Thailand. On the live webinar the other day, I've actually decided, we did a heads or tails whether I go to Japan or Chiang Mai, which is another area here in Thailand. And, it went to heads, which was Chiang Mai. So I head to Chiang Mai next week. So I'm always moving around, always traveling around. I already have my dream home. It's absolutely amazing. I have, that's the private swimming pool there. That's me on the private swimming pool. I have 2 jacuzzis, amazing master bedroom with walk-in closets. I have 3 outdoor areas, an incredible office, a garage which is going to be converted to a gym very shortly and is already in the process of being converted into a gym. I have, it's absolutely incredible the sort of lifestyle I'm living, and having a dream home at my age is something that's really not average. It's not something that many people have the blessing of having. So I'm really grateful for what I have. I've helped 4 clients achieve $10,000 plus days. It's now actually at 5 or 6 clients, which I need to check. However, 3 have been newbies. 3 of these clients have never earned an income before and have gone on to be earning $10,000 plus days, which is absolutely incredible. And my passion is, I live to make 1 million homeless people completely independent, and I'm going to do it. It's going to happen. I'm going to do it. That is my passion. Is what I'm going to do, no matter what gets in my way, no matter who gets in my way, no matter what challenges I have to face. And the first step to that was making myself independent, which I have clearly done so. And the second step is to make you independent. And the reason that's the second step is because if I'm not able to make you independent, who are already somewhat semi-independent. You know, you have a job, most of you, you have a home, internet connection, you have a place to stay, you have food to eat. And if I cannot make you independent, how am I expected to make one homeless guy independent, one homeless person independent, let alone 1 million? So that's why I work hard every single day. That's why sometimes I have sleepless nights. Although I don't need sleepless nights, I can effortlessly make money on my own, as I have done so. But there is more satisfaction in helping you, and it makes me grow stronger as a person, so that I can fully realize this passion of mine. And that is it. That's my introduction. That's me in a nutshell. Before I start a webinar, I always like to start with a quote. And this is a quote that I actually learned and picked up the other week, and I put together in a sentence. Don't be goal-orientated, be process-orientated. Choose the life you wish to live. Fight for a way of life, not an end objective, and you will achieve more than you can possibly imagine. I was someone who, not even over a week ago, was very goal-orientated. I would pick a goal and I would go for it, and my happiness derived from achieving that goal. It didn't derive from the process. I would always grind or hustle, so to speak, and work hard, or I would work, you know, even working efficiently, I would work, and the work itself wouldn't make me happy, only the goal itself would. But now that I've looked towards being more process orientated, I'm now looking at my the way of life that I wish to live, and I'm living a fuller and healthier life already because of it. So it's something that I definitely recommend, and something that you should be looking towards. Don't look towards, oh, I want to earn this level of income, but look towards what way of life you wish to be living. All right, I'm going to share with you some screenshots, not to show off, and I'm not going to show big screenshots. I'm only showing some earnings, just so that I can show you and entice you to really look at what I'm about to show you, and let you know that I really do qualify. Now, I opened up a program in January, February mark. Only 9 days into the program, students have earned over $20,000. The last 14 days have been $44,000, and it just kept going up and up. This is February, the same month, $50,000, $79,000, let's just say $80,000 there, and it actually went up to over $120,000 just for February alone. The first day when I was, closing sales for the team, for the people, for the students, we hit a 5-figure day. We hit a $10,000 plus day. This is me hitting over $32,000 in a day, and it's the reason why I can even say statements like, if you're earning, $100,000 a month or less, if you're earning 6 figures a month, stop what you're doing and empty your cup, because I'm going to show you how to really make money. And the reason I can say something like that is because you can clearly see here, 3 of those days would become $100,000 in 3 days, just 3 of those days out of the month. And I've hit $32,000 days. You can see 14,000, 9,715, and 11,000, and it just keeps going up and up from there. This is a student who went from 0, he had no leads, he had no high tickets, to earning well within the first 2 weeks. This is the same student that plans to earn a projected $200,000 plus next month in this July. Okay, so as I'm speaking here, it's June the 26th. Okay, the webinar was on the 25th. It's now the 26th. Here's the results of one of the Titan Mastermind members, and there's more results everywhere. I have so many results that I can't put it up on one page with lots and lots and lots of screenshots. I'm not someone who really loves to use screenshots and earnings, but this is just to let you know that I qualify to teach you here, okay? This is the first week for one of the students, 11,800, another one, 5,300, and another one here, 26,961. However, the first week for him was actually at over $50,000. Yada, 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 okay? So the numbers are big, and I'm going to share with you everything I know, so that you can go ahead and hit these numbers as well. All right, so that's the intro done. I'm not a fan of intros. Let's begin on the training. And let's start out with the foundation / theory of the training. Do take notes, have your notepad and pen ready. I do have a handout for you, and on the handout I teach you the art of note taking, how to take notes for this specific webinar so that you can fully benefit from it, so that you can fully take notes, and so that you don't have to go through this whole video again, so that you can pick up little pieces, and so you can look at your notepad, your pen, you can look at your notepad, you can look at maybe your Word document or something if you're writing it on a laptop or computer, and you can pinpoint out any piece of information that you wish. Okay, so let's start now with the foundation theory, which 99.9% of marketers have this absolutely dead wrong. And they try to build a business around the wrong foundation, endlessly struggling and shamefully still working at a lousy job. J-O-B, just over broke, as most people call it. Now I'm going to share with you my personal foundation, the 3 theories that has catapulted my income to multiple 6-figure months. Okay, so let's start right away. Theory 1, people would pay heaps of money for the right transformational value. I'm just going to check if this is recording just to make sure that I'm not just talking to myself here. So let me check Google Plus. One moment. And it is recording, which is good to know. All right. Let me go back to the PowerPoint from current slide. Okay, so theory 1, again, people would pay heaps of money, would pay lots and lots and lots of money for the right transformational value. Okay, and I'm going to give you the proof of this theory right now. Okay, let's just say, you were hit by a lightning, you got special powers, you got granted special powers to look 3 to 6 months into the future. And you saw that if you paid me $10,000, you'd be making $20,000 or more every single month. You see it, you can look into the future. Okay, that's your special power. Would you pay? Would you pay me $10,000? Would you sell your car, your possessions, your house in order to get this transformational value? Now, based on this theory, I can guarantee you that the answers to all of those questions were yes. Okay, that now, we move on to theory 2. Up to a certain extent, whether you are offering something low ticket or high ticket with the right funnel, the volume of sales will not dip. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Take notes on this. Theory 2, up to a certain extent, whether you are offering something low ticket or high ticket with the right funnel, the volume of sales will not dip. This means that with the same effort, you can produce much higher results. The proof of the theory is that I sold the high ticket program for a client of mine at $2,997, $2,997, let's just say $3,000 to make it easy. So I sold for $3K. With the exact same funnel, I raised the price to $5K, and we get very similar volumes in sales. By volumes in sales, what I mean is the number of sales. So 10 sales, that's the volume. The volume is 10. All right, so we hit very similar volumes in sales. In fact, lowering the price too much actually dips the conversions, which moves us on to theory 3. And theory 3 is there is a too low of a price mark, and if you offer anything at this price, it will not be considered transformational value. And as a result, the conversions will severely dip as you underpriced. And the proof of this theory is, and I'm going to give you an example here. Let's assume 2 people approached you with a similar offer. Person 1 decides to charge this for this transformational value for $47, and person 2 decides to charge $4,700 or 100 times the price for this transformational value. Which person will you see as a man of more value to you, a man or woman of more value to you? And the obvious answer to that question is the second person, right? The first question you'd probably be asking, and it's in most people's minds, is, you know, with person one, is why would he give all this away for $47? There must be a catch, you know. He must be selling, he must be trying to upsell me after. He must be trying to sell something else to me. This must just be the cheap product. What's the most expensive one? What's the most valuable stuff that he has? Because $47 doesn't have much value. That is what is triggered in your head, and it's simple because people expect to pay premium price for premium quality. It's as simple as that. If I said to you, this laptop here costs $2,000 and this laptop here costs, you know, $50, which laptop would you expect to have higher quality? Well, of course, it's the one that costs $2,000, right? And I'm going to share with you an example that I saw about a week ago on my Facebook, which is a perfect example. So here's someone who writes down, you know, where's the link? I'm interested, but I can't afford $2,000. And the owner of the product says, it costs $47, not $2,000. Now, you may think that the potential buyer would be happy with this, but one in budget of $2,000 would look elsewhere for real value in their eyes, okay? So they wouldn't even register the $47 as something that they wish to purchase because they have 2K and they're willing to spend 2K to get the right transformational value. And the higher the price, the higher the perceived value. So that is the 3 theories that sets the foundation to everything that I do in marketing. Consider these 3 theories somewhat, you know, the Bible of marketing. And now comes the question, you know, how do I make this practical? And that is the most newbie error that one can make, to look to go straight from theory to practical. Now, black is not to white as theory is to practical. There is a gray area in between theory and practical, and this is to begin to study and analyze the theory through the right questions, okay? Because the answers to these questions is the practical application of the theory, and you need to ask the right questions. Asking something like, you know, how do I apply this, is an absolutely wrong question. You know, so many people look at theory and they say, oh, but how do I apply this? Where's the practical information? Where's the practical stuff? The practical portion is within the theory itself. You just have to ask the right questions, and then you have to seek the answers. Now, this on the webinar, I mean, this is recording, there's no one on here, but on the webinar, I actually asked people, I said, don't be ashamed, just type in 95%, sorry, on the chat if you're one of the people who look at theory and say, well, how do I apply this now? Or, oh, well, where's the practical information? This is all theory stuff, right? And basically, every single person typed in 95%. Everyone said, wow, I do this. I can't believe it. I didn't think there was something in between theory and practical. Some people said, I just had a complete paradigm shift. And you know, the response there was amazing. Now, let me show you how to turn this theory into practical with the right questions. I don't want to just give you, I'm not just going to give you theory and then practical. I want to dive into how I think, how I turn theory into practical for myself through the teachings of my mentors, through the thought process of what I already know, through common sense, through the knowledge that I know already. And I'll now ask the right questions for each theory, and the answers to it is the answer to earning $4 million a year with 4 months of work out of the year. All right, so I'm first going to go through every question on all 3 theories. Then I'm going to begin answering each one of them, okay? So theory 1, which was people would pay heaps of money for the right transformational value. The first question I would ask is, how can I get my hands on transformational value to sell, right? Because lots of people are willing to pay lots of money for it. I better find transformational value so I can sell and I can charge big numbers, okay? And question 2, how can I package this value to make people realize that it's transformational value and be enticed to buy. And the answers to questions one and two is going to give us practical knowledge on two things. The first and foremost, how to get transformational value to sell, and secondly, how to make people realize that it's transformational value and make them want to buy. Let me just drink some water here because I'm getting thirsty. Okay, so those are the two questions. And by the way, I always mention this on my webinars. If I am going too fast and sometimes you don't have time to take all the notes, just do a screenshot and then you can look through the slides after. So do screenshots of some of the important parts of the slides, and then you can instantly have a good shot. Okay, moving on to theory 2. Now, up to a certain extent, whether you're offering something low ticket or high ticket, with the right funnel, the volume of sales will not dip. The right questions to ask, and these are the questions I would ask. The first question is, what is the highest price point, and is this an exact figure? And the second question, what funnel or funnels can I use to ensure that conversions do not dip when I raise the prices? And the answers to questions 1 and 2 will give us practical knowledge on how to extract the most amount of money from leads by charging the highest price possible and what that price is. Now, I've done with about 200 leads over $51,000, which is absolutely incredible. With over 400 leads, I've done over $70,000. So I know exactly how to extract the most amount of dollars from the leads, okay? And that's through the answer of question 1. And question 2 will basically give us practical information on the highest converting funnel to use. So that is theory 2's questions. Theory 3, there is a too low of a price mark, and if you offer anything at this price, it will not be considered transformational value. The question I would ask here is, what price is considered too low to sell and market a transformational product or service? And the practical answer, the answer to this is going to give us practical knowledge on the must price to avoid, so people can see your product or service as transformational value. It's somewhat like a warning sign, right? Like the red lights means stop at the traffic. This is like the red lights, like do not sell at this price or anything lower. And you need to know this red line so that you don't cross it. So now we have the theory as well as the questions, which is somewhat, the bridge between theory and practical. And we know what we receive in answering these questions, okay? That's the most important part. Now, the better quality your questions, the better quality your bridge. If there's gaps in your questions, then what's going to happen is there's going to be gaps in your bridge, and you won't be able to apply practical information out of the theory to its full efficiency. Okay, so maybe you'll ask questions and it's going to leave holes where you can actually ask more questions to dive deeper into the theory. Now, thankfully, I've hustled already, and I found these answers both through sheer hustle and through a great mentor, and I'm now going to share with you all the answers. Okay, so theory 1, let's get straight into the answers. This is theory 1 here. The first question was, how can I get my hands on transformational value to sell? Now, I want you to imagine a wild, hungry lion, and its prey, transformational value, so to speak, is within reach of its teeth. And your task is to take its prey for yourself. How hard is that going to be? Well, that's the same when you want to sell someone's truly transformational value, because it's more money for us. It's actual transformational value, and we like to keep it protected, so only we sell it. Because people on my level, people above me, like my mentor, we would rather sell, our own product for ourselves and keep it for serious people. and this value cannot be replicated unless, and the solution here is to buy transformational value, absorb it, and create a program out of it yourself. However, thanks to the process I've learned, I have figured out a way to snatch the prey from the lion. And in fact, I now have a waiting list of lions, so to speak, wanting to give me their prey, so I can have a transformational product or service to sell. And the answer to this is bait. Now, bait is the key, and the bait is an irresistible offer. And I'm going to share with you the actual irresistible offer I share, and I'd like to tell you that this works 90% plus of the time with ease, okay? And here's what I say. It's as simple as this. Hello, I will create a high-end funnel for you to help you sell your offer. All I ask is for a percentage of the sales I generate, and there's going to be no upfront cost to you whatsoever. You have nothing to lose and nothing but sales to gain. And the person always says, wait, Rahman, what's the catch? And I say, absolutely no catch, my friend. And it's a guaranteed deal, and you now can get yourself unlimited clients. And all you have to do is connect with people on Facebook, look for people who have a high ticket to sell, something, you know, maybe that costs $1,000 or more to sell. You just find someone that has something to sell, and you just say that. And when you say that, there we go. Now you have something of transformational value to sell. Guaranteed deal, unlimited clients for you. It's done. That's as far as the pitch, if I would even call it a pitch, would ever go. Now, this works for 90% of the great products or services out there, the transformative ones, the transformational value. It wouldn't work on me. It wouldn't work on my mentor, nor any high-end, you know, 7 to 9 figure earners, right? Between 1 million plus 1 million, 10 million, $100 million earners, right? It wouldn't work on them because we all have something in common. Is, you know, we keep a closed circle and only allow certain people with certain qualities in and produce massive results for them, right? Do use this method for the people who have transformative value, and you will be amazed at the rate it will work. Now, the way to judge transformative quality in a product or service is, you know, through the owner's previous clients. You see the results that the owner has brought for the clients, whether it's for fitness, for marketing, for any sort of product or service in any niche. Figure out the results that the clients got as a result of purchasing this product or service, and that will give you a good idea of how transformational the value this person provides is. Okay, and the second question, how can I package this value to make people realize its transformational value and be enticed to buy? This is something that most people get wrong. Now, 95% of the time, you need to talk about the person's dreams, the accomplishments of those dreams, and trigger people's emotions, not their conscious thinking or reasoning. And that error is done by talking about the product or service too much in comparison to the person's dreams, the person's objectives, the person's desires, the person's base needs and wants, okay? Emotions stem from deep hidden thoughts. Sales is a transference of emotions. Emotions come from your subconscious. That is why sometimes you say, I don't know why I feel this way, and you try to use your reasoning or logical thinking to figure it out. Maybe you do something that you expect would make you happy and it makes you upset. Maybe something that you would expect to have made you upset makes you feel happy and feel more free, more confident, and you're thinking, wait, why do I feel this way? And you try to use this, you try to use your reasoning and logical thinking to figure this out, and you never will. Now I asked on the webinar, I said, hey guys, am I talking to myself here, or is this right? Am I right? Sometimes do you say to yourself, I don't know why I feel this way. You know, you try to figure this out through reasoning or through logic, and you just can't figure it out, right? And so many people said, oh wow, I didn't notice this. This is amazing. Yeah, you're right. You know, someone with like 20 exclamation marks, like, damn, I mean, yeah, this is right. And you need to influence the emotions in a person. Influencing emotions is what gets people to buy, not the product, but rather the feelings behind buying the product. The feeling behind buying it is what is going to make people buy, right? And you need to make them feel happy, accomplished, and joyous about purchasing your transformational value. Take the prospect into the future, a future where they already have your product, a future where they are already hitting their targets with it, and ask them how they feel about it. How do you feel about earning this level of income? How do you feel about having this kind of body? And then you take them back into the present by saying, now, how can I help you? You know, and they will ask you if they can pay. I promise you, they will say, well, you say to them, you say, now, how can I help you? And you say, well, I was hoping that I can pay and I can get in this program with you. I was hoping you could, let me in this closed circle because I really want these results. Can I pay? Can you let me in? Do I qualify? When can I pay? Please let me in. I really need this. I really need to do this for myself, for my family. I need to, I have to make my passions come true, blah, blah, blah. And you just say, well, okay, yes, I'll take the payments and I'll accept you in, which is amazing. It's amazing. Theory 2, up to a certain extent, whether you are offering something low ticket or high ticket, with the right funnel, the volume of sales will not dip. The first question was, what is the highest price point, and is this an exact figure? And to answer this, I'm going to begin with the second part of the question and let you know that there is not an exact figure, and this requires some testing. Now, the ballpark figure I like to work with is, $1,497, $1,500 in the internet marketing niche. And, I build a funnel and I keep raising the price until I notice a decline in not the volume of sales, but the level of profits generated. I couldn't care less about the volume of sales, and I'll tell you why. Let's assume there are 100 people and I convert 1% at $1 million, okay? 1% at $1 million is one buyer, that's $1 million. If I convert for $1, 100%, that's 100 sales at $1, which is $100. I'd rather have one sale of $1 million than 100 sales of $1 and only earn $100, okay? So the volume, it doesn't matter. The level of profits generated is all I care about, because at the end of the day, that is what I get to spend. That is what I get to use to, help others, to build my charity, to travel the world, to live the lifestyle I want, to, pay for this dream house and live in this dream house, is the level of profits generated. Now, on a previous launch, I raised the price, from $1,000, $997 to $4,000 fairly quickly, and I realized, after I played around with that price point for a while, the $4,000 price point, as it was converting, as it was producing the most amounts of profits for me. Now, I use and this is moving on to question 2, which is, what funnel can I use to ensure that conversions do not dip with higher prices? I use a specific funnel that I can play around with by using it in different forms. Now, let's take the analogy of water. The specific funnel is like water, and playing around with it is like putting this water in different shaped cups or vessels. This means, it's the same property, but it's just placed differently. And I wish to cover with you this property, and you can use this funnel in any way you want. Now, due to time restraints, I will cover the water and not various different cups or vessels, so to speak, which I implement this funnel on. Now, I implement this funnel on webinars. I implement it on video sales letters. I implement it on just Facebook posts, Facebook groups, social media, just emails, pure emails. But I have like this foundation. I have like this, not foundation. I have like this structure, this water, the process. Okay, and I'm going to give you one full example of how I do this with a solo ad that works really well. Okay, so step one, I pay for a solo ad, and the email for the solo ad itself gives great value, and people are told to opt in to receive piece number 2 of 3 as, and I quote, write this down, as I cannot give you all my knowledge in one email. So below, opt in so that you can receive email number 2, value piece number 2 of 3, which is going to cover XYZ or XYZ. Okay, they opt in. Now I have captured the lead. They instantly receive value piece number 2 of 3, and on value piece number 3 of 3, I make it clear to them that, and I quote again, write this down, due to too much demand, many emails and messages, I have decided to give you a full layout of what I know, and I open the doors for a limited time. Enjoy this third piece of value. And I go ahead, I give this third piece of value, usually either on a webinar or on a video sales letter, and this is somewhat of a video sales letter style that you see here, where you can't see me, I'm speaking, and there's the letter, sales letter, so to speak, playing, and I have many examples of that. This is me giving you some great piece of value, the third piece of value, so to speak. So do read in between the lines. Right, I then present this through video sales letter, and at the end, and this is through the solo ad, it's through video sales letter, and at the end I take them to an application form, and then I get them on a consultation call for those who qualify, and I close them on the call in the way I described on theory 1, question 2, question 2's answer, which was on emotions, right, where 95% of the time I'm talking about the person's emotions rather than the product itself. And I've now made a high ticket sale, and although I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars rapidly, and I went from, $5,000 months then to 10, 25, very inconsistent, to bam, over 200,000 in 16 days. And although I've made, hundreds of thousands of dollars like this, every sale still pumps me the heck up, I'm always like jumping up and down, giggling like a girl after every sale. And it's just my nature. It's just, how I am. All right, this moves us on to theory 3. Now on theory 3, there is a too low of a price mark, and if you offer anything at this price, it will not be considered transformational. And the question I asked here was, what price is considered too low to sell and market a transformational product or service? Now, this is based on somewhat of a personal opinion and how well you can market your product or service. It also depends on what you are selling. For example, at first, I offered a service to select people where I would build funnels for them. I would use their resources, and I'll take a hefty percentage without any upfront costs. And to them, it was the most transformational service they could imagine. And, I have a waiting list of perhaps, I can't remember the number, 16 people, 13, 16 people. And, each person can make me, some people can make me 6-figure months. Some people can make me, 50,000 plus a month. And I have this waiting list, and I can go ahead and I can just, handpick anyone I want and say, hey, now you're at the top of the waiting list. I'm ready to take you on, and we're ready to build this funnel. And I build a funnel for them, and I take, 50%, at times 60%, 35%, 40%. Now, for a coaching program or for a course, I would say, you know, in the internet market, in like the marketing niche, the minimum you should ever go is, you know, $1,000, 997. 997 actually converts higher than $1,000, although it's just $3 difference. It just makes the price look lower, and I've noticed that it converts higher. But you know, that's just a side thing. I just let you know and let you in on. But you know, even 997 is pushing it a little too down. I would start with 1497, or you know, $1,500, and you can market that as transformational value, in my opinion. In general, the better you can market, the lower you have the ability to push the price down and still make it seem like transformational value. However, great marketers wouldn't push prices down if they understood the three theories that I have covered with you and I've given you the practical information on. Now, you know, I do not have the luxury of time to be here for hours and hours to go through everything. So in as short a time as possible, I crammed all of this in for you. So, you know, so there you have it. That's the training. I hope you enjoyed it. You've learned a lot. I've covered, you know, where 99.9% of marketers flop at the foundation. You received my entire foundation so you can begin earning, and some of you begin earning more. You got the knowledge that there's something in between theory and practical. I shared with you how to find a high ticket, how to close the deal, the type of funnel I use, the prices to go for, the required practical knowledge to, you know, quote, make it happen. Now, you know, I mentioned several times you know, I've mentioned that I plan to make $4 million or more a year with 4 months of work and share the wealth with you. I slightly dropped that hint a few times, and you know, on Facebook posts, you know, on the video that I used to get you on here on this webinar, on this training. And so with much thinking, I have officially decided to reopen a program that I had created in January of 2015, a program that was so successful I had to shift students' mindset to cope with $10,000 plus days, to cope with the level of success they were having, to figure out bigger goals as they had achieved all their dreams and more. And this is very dangerous, because what I realized was students were actually beginning to crumble, and I'll be honest, they were beginning to crumble because of the level of success they were hitting. Their character could not keep up with the level of income being produced, and I had to really give them some excellent mindset training to keep them up in character. You know, except this time it's going to be much bigger, much more exclusive, as I have noticed that with fewer students we can hit bigger numbers. Now, details on the program, including the price, is not going to be shared on this webinar, as it's far too exclusive to put up here for everyone. And if you have a budget of just a couple $100, forget applying. This is not cheap. It's not for the faint of heart. I'm only limiting this to 12 people, and the reason is simple. From launching this the last time, you know, I've learned many lessons which have been implemented into this version 2.0, and I've noticed that the sweet spot was 12 people. 12 people were earning $2,000 plus daily, and I'm making much too much money, much too much profit with my clients to consider teaching too many people and wasting spending too much of my time and sharing the wealth too far. As the further I share the wealth, the thinner it runs for, you know, the people who are on board. Now, to apply, send your application form here. And I have a button above this video where you just, you know, click on the button and it takes you to this link where you can send your applications through. If you qualify, you're going to receive all necessary information about the program, and you will, you know, have the chance to book an appointment personally with me, where we talk about much kept secrets of mine that will astonish you. And you know, I had questions on the webinar, and you know, many people asked about the program itself, and I mentioned multiple times that Nothing will be shared on this webinar. Only for qualified people will I cover everything about the program, because it's super secret. I'm going to put you on in a secret group. I'm going to keep it tight knit. I'm going to have you sign an NDA form that you don't share anything outside of the group, because this stuff is so powerful that I really am afraid of getting it out there too fast, and I have to structure it in a way that we earn a long sustainable masses of income. Okay, so I'm going to keep it a good secret. People asked, can I use this to sell fitness programs? And the answer to that was yes. I had, and I have this written here, Carl from Nottingham asked if he could use this funnel to sell his program, to sell his stuff. And the answer to that is absolutely yes. Someone has asked, is this in, and I haven't written down the name or the location, but she's asked, is this enough to go ahead and earn 6-figure months like you said? This here is enough to earn $4 million a year, which is what I plan to earn with the knowledge that I've just shared with you. So what I would like to tell you is, the only thing that will get in your way is not a gap in knowledge. It's not a gap in resources. It's a gap in your mindset. And you need to shift your mindset in order to be able to handle the level of income that is capable with this. This is things that are not shared out in the open. It's things that people like me don't have the need or the fulfillment to go ahead and share it, because it's less money from our end, it's less profits from my end. The time spent creating this webinar, the time spent teaching you, I could have made, tens and tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the proof in the pudding is that I plan to do 4 months of work to earn $4 million. That's and let's crunch down these numbers. That's $1 million for a month. $1 million for a month, where I plan to work 5 hours a day for 5 days a week, which is 25 hours a week. That's 100 hours out of the month, which is $10,000 an hour. $10,000 an hour of productive work. This webinar has taken me about 6 hours, 7 hours of hard work to create. That's $60,000 to $70,000 lost creating this webinar. Then there's the Q&A session. The Q&A session is 15 minutes. 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour. A quarter of an hour, that's $2,500. Q&A and announcing this, and just announcing this has cost me $2,500. So you see the money being lost. I'm losing so much money giving this to you, but my higher vision is to get all of you here on board so that you can earn this level of income, and you can, in return, fund this charity of mine, not because I require funding, but because I want to get, this energy going with many people. I'd rather, get rich with a group, right? I'd rather make money with a group than on my own. And the proof of the pudding is I'm actually looking for another villa, a big one. I've found one, amazing one, 4-bedroom, 850 square meters. It's got a games room, a cinema room. It's absolutely incredible. Olympic-sized swimming pool. It costs between around $15,000 to $20,000 a month, and everyone on board, all 12 of you that come on board, the lucky 12, will be able to come and hang out here as and when you want, free of charge. You can sleep in the room, stay there as long as you wish. Any clients, any students of mine can just hop on there and learn from me in person, hang around with me, without really even having to pay a cent. Free, unlimited events to the people who are connected to me. And it's going to be absolutely incredible. I see people there all the time, hopping in and out. I can see us having fun, masterminding, making money together there. And that's my vision, Now, I had a student on here on the webinar, which, the recording backfired. However, I did a recording. I did an exclusive interview with him the other day, about 2-3 days ago. And I'm going to have that exclusive interview below. His name is Tony Flakes. Tony Flakes has planned to actually have made $20,000 this week, which I think he has hit. Before he even implements this, funnel on the best method, the most favorite method of mine, which is the webinar sales funnel. He actually is already doing, you know, 4-figure days and multiple 4-figure days. Just before the day before this call where he got on live yesterday with us, he banked $3,000, and he constantly banks thousands of dollars a day before he's even promoting. So now, you know, I'm going to be working closely with him so that he earns over $200,000 the, you know, next month in July. And the interesting part here is, you know, this program is not cheap. He actually took a down payment. He sort of pawned off his car, which was his only mode of transportation, to get on board. He risked he risked it all, and thankfully for that, he's about to, you know, marry his beautiful fiance. He's spending $40,000 plus on his wedding. He's planning to make $200,000 plus next month. He's moving into his dream home. So it's not just me in my dream home. He's moving into his dream home in Florida, in somewhere in Florida. I can't remember these names because, you know, I'm not from America. But he's planning to move to an amazing location in Florida. Great mansion, which I've had the liberty to take to look at the pictures. And he's someone who joined in February, okay? And that's Mr. X. You can find that on the video below. Now I'm just going to show you more screenshots here. This is another client of mine planning to hit a 20K day. 45,000 in 5 days was not too shabby, as he says. It was actually 51,000, which was incredible. And in the last 4 days, he produced $40,000 in pure profit. And the game plan was for, you know, me and him to do $100,000 in the next 6 days. We were actually only about $11,000 off. Not much off, but it was great results. 51,000 plus on 200 leads. You know, this stuff is incredible. It's not just there for no reason. And those people who get on board are going to be very lucky, are going to be involved in something that is life-changing, it's transformational. It's something that you will not find any program, you will not find any long-standing multi-level marketing company, long-standing MLM, long-standing high-end mentors, high-end coaches. You will not find anything anywhere else that has even, and I'm proud to announce, even remotely close to the level of success that I have produced for clients. Who do you know, right? Who do you know, and let's be honest, who do you know that took newbies who knew nothing from $0 to $10,000 a day in less than 2 weeks? Who do you know people who've taken experts, so to speak, people on $20,000 a month to $20,000 a week in the first week? Who do you know who takes on a client who doesn't know what's going on, who starts banking over $70,000 on the first 7 days of promotions? You don't see that anywhere else with anybody. I guarantee you. Look around, look for someone, anybody. If you find someone like that, let me know, because I'll be the first person to pay him and up my game, okay? But I have not been able to find someone like that. And it's because I understand the power of leverage. Now, I did a poll on Facebook where I said for the bonus of the training, we're going to cover a few things. And you got to decide which of those things are going to be covered. And most people decided for the art of leverage, which is using other people's resources and time, using other people's abilities to bank yourself. And now the art of leverage is something that this program really stems upon. Is my ability to sell is so high, I can sell meat to a vegetarian. All right. It's pretty much that good. Like, I can sell meat to a vegetarian. Okay. And what I've decided to do, that was that's where everything stemmed from. in this program in version 2.0 that you're applying for now, it's an earn while you learn program. So you get to earn while you're learning. And how it works is, and you know, I'm going to share a very small portion of this, which I'm not supposed to be sharing out here in public, but I plan to have a centralized system where me personally and my team use the resources you have. And even as a newbie, you don't really need any resources. I teach you how to get these resources, but we use your resources to expertly and efficiently produce a level of income, a level of conversions that you have seen on these screenshots, and you take a percentage. That's the earning portion of the program. It practically, you know, if there was no NDA, and screw the NDA, but if it wasn't for, you know, NDA, I would actually go as far as saying, you know, this is a guaranteed income. I would go as far as saying that, but only because of, you know, legal reasons. I'm not saying that. However, do take the hint there. And at the same time, you get to learn everything I know about funnels. Now, you know, this person here, Mr. X, so to speak, Tony Flakes, who is going to be on this video below, where I interviewed him. And I actually look a little bit dark there because of the lighting, so forgive me if you can't see my face. But he only knows about 20% of what I have told, what I know. He applied 20% of the knowledge that I've shared with him so far, and he's about to receive the other 80%, which you're going to be receiving. And just on 20%, he's planning to hit over $200,000 next month. And that was before I've decided to give him extra guidance. Now I'm giving him extra guidance, working even closely with him, and planning to give him the other 80% of the training, the other 80% of the knowledge that I know, the knowledge that's in my head, that is so deep that you can really, and I'm not kidding you, you can go ahead and make 7-figure months, which is exactly what I plan to do. And I spoke to him just today, and he is planning to hit 7-figure months by the end of this calendar year. So that is Tony Flakes there, one of the prize students, not the highest one, not the biggest client, far from the biggest, but definitely one that I am very proud of, because he's someone who was absolutely, you know, average. He was ordinary, complete newbie, didn't know a thing, didn't know what leads meant. He knew nothing, had nothing, took a down payment or sold his car. He took there's a word for an entitlement on his car, and you know, he risked the only mode of transportation to get on board, literally from nothing, and he's managed to produce that. So I'm proud to say that he is, you know, my highest accomplishment, not my biggest earner, but my highest accomplishment. And there we have it. You know, there's no more questions, of course, because it's just me here. And the recording here is now done. If you have any questions that I missed out on answering, do just send me a message on Facebook, and I'll answer the questions. Submit your application. I really hope that you do qualify, because qualifications are very strict. I'm going to decide the 12 people very carefully and manage them very carefully. As I've mentioned, people like me like to keep a closed circle, a closed unit, and we really look at the qualities of the person. The personal qualities for me are more important than the resources you have, are more important than what abilities you have. I want to know, you know, what your passion is, if you're willing to work for it, and if you have the success mindset to be able to cope with the levels of income that we plan to hit together, because this $4 million a year will be hit between the 12 of us and me. That's 13 of us. All right, so this is Rahman Nur, founder and creator of Titan Mastermind version 2.0. I'm signing out, and I will see you on the call if you do qualify. Good luck, and go below to see the exclusive interview with Tony Flakes and another students. See you there. Bye-bye, and I love you.